In line with the Philippine Army's modernization program, it has raised the requirement to equip its forces with air defense systems to protect its units from aerial threats, while also forming the base for an expanded air defense capability in the future. Contrary to some others' posts regarding the Philippine Army's requirement for short-range air defense, SHORAD system is considering the likes of the Norwegian National Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile System, NASAMS. The requirements have not changed since we first discussed this a few years ago. While others used the Army Artillery Regiment's own video back in June 2023 showing the NASAMS as an example of a SHORAD system, it would be noted that the basic requirements of the system was also posted in the video that runs contrary to the NASAMS's capabilities. It says the minimum radar track range is 25 kilometers, missile range is between 6 to 8 kilometers with a ceiling of 3,300 meters. In comparison, the NASAMS has a radar track range of 120 kilometers, missile range of between 30 kilometers for NASAMS-2 and 50 kilometers for NASAMS-3, and a ceiling of 21 kilometers for NASAMS-2 and 35 kilometers for NASAMS-3. Previously, Max Defense Philippines and our extension Philippine Defense Resources reported that the MBDA Mistral 2 and Lignex 1 Chiron are the competing models. And based on our queries with sources familiar with the project, the two models remain the most likely candidates, although they are not closing the doors on other models, and the specifications are apparently being revised to also include capacity for surface-to-surface engagements. The most visible difference so far with the Horizon 3 requirements is that the project is now a joint project between the Philippine Army, Philippine Navy, Marines, and the GHQ, AFP, instead of just a project of the Philippine Army. The number of batteries required has increased from 2 batteries to far more than that, to allow providing the 3 proponents with sufficient numbers for their own air defense requirements. This was later slightly revised under the Horizon 3 phase as the Horizon 3 phase underwent re-review under orders from Defense Sec. Gilberto Teodoro Jr. Only slight changes were made to accommodate the programming of the project. There is only a few changes on the specifications between the original and new project, although the main difference will be on the budget and quantity to be procured, which is now larger to accommodate the requirements of all 3 end users. According to the Horizon 3 phase documents received by our parent page Max Defense Philippines, the aim of the SHORAD's Joint Acquisition Project for the General Headquarters AFP is for air defense of critical infrastructure and high-value targets, which require mobile anti-aircraft, anti-surface capabilities. Meanwhile, there are no changes in the Philippine Army requirements, which is for air defense of Army and divisional elements, areas or installation. Since the set budget is based on earlier replies on request for information, RFI, from the proponents, it would be impractical to use the medium-ranged and more expensive NASAMS to fill the SHORAD requirements. Short-range air defense, SHORAD, is a group of anti-aircraft weapons and tactics that have to do with defense against low-altitude air threats, primarily helicopters and low-flying aircraft such as the A-10 or Sukhoi Su-25. NASAMS, Norwegian Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile System, also known as the National Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile System, is a distributed and networked short to medium-range ground-based air defense system developed by Kongsberg Defence and Aerospace, KDA, and Raytheon. The system defends against unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, helicopters, cruise missiles, unmanned combat aerial vehicles, UCAVs, and fixed-wing aircraft, firing any of a wide range of existing missiles. At the moment, we are still determining the full extent of the project under Horizon 3 phase, and for now our extension Philippine Defense Resource will stick to the original resource page for the MANPADS acquisition project of the Philippine Army until we get information to revise or replace it with a new resource page.